So watch those white BMWs sort of midfield and see if they make any moves. But they have got, of course, on the grid. The man on pole is Felix Bortero. Alongside him, Pierre Cortals. They were on the spin. Felix Bortero finishing in 9th place in the opening race. Out of the points, Augusto Farfus and Jörg Müller. They're in the BMWs. They have an advantage because it is, of course, a grid start. Not a rolling start like the first race we had. There is the light board, and away it is almost immediately, and they are off. And Bortero, can he hold on to it? Yes, he can. And Huff comes round on the outside. He's made tremendous progress, and Rob Huff's already up into 3rd place as they go into Paddock Hill and down the long dip and the rise up towards Druids, and plenty of movement back throughout the field as well. But Rob Huff has got an absolute stormer here. Brilliant start by Huff, and I have to say Turkington's made up a couple of places as well. This is tremendous drive here, absolutely brilliant through the field.
And already that's James Thompson going past Pierre-Yves Cortals. He unfortunately has not had the start he wanted. He was really worried about what was behind him.
Oh, and Zanardi's off. Zanardi is in the sand. I hope it's in a safe enough position. I hope we don't. Are we going to get a stop here, David?
It's in a really bad position. They will have a vehicle to try and pull it out of the way. How quickly they can do that, I'm not 100% sure. And I'm trying to look, and already the safety car board is appearing at the start and finish line. There goes the yellow flag. There will be a safety car. Safety car on standby, it says. Actually on standby. And
well, Colin Turkington under all kinds of pressure here. So's Rob Huff, but they're holding on to their positions at the moment. There go the remainder of the field, and the BMWs are starting to make moves here, and that's exactly what they need to do midfield, because if the safety car does come out, it's going to neutralise positions further down the field here, and that's exactly what you don't want. Oh, impact it's going to be as well. Nose in, 3 vehicles involved, and I think, was that Manu also involved in the incident there?
Larini, it was Larini. He was at the back of the grid, and that's what caught him out. Rangoni went up, got it wrong, trying to go up the inside, and spun the car. That was the BMW spun round, so that was the end of that.
And finally the yellow flags are waving here, and the safety car has been deployed, and the rest is neutralised here. Wow.
What we didn't see was Andy Prio is in the lead. We didn't see how he got past Felix Bortero.
So much action going on. Andy Prio has got to the head of the field. Bortero in 2nd place. Rob Huff, who got a superb start, in 3rd place. But Andy Prio, hats off, mate. Let's just hope he bedded in and did all of that before the safety car was declared.
And also the blue Chevrolet that we've seen in the incident is Nicola Larini. He's got all sorts of bits and pieces. Here he is coming up the hill, is it? He's got all sorts of bits and pieces hanging off the back of his car. But the safety vehicle, Stats vehicle out, getting rid of Alex Zanardi's car already.
Well, a 1:42.712, Andy Prio on board with him, and this is how he went for it. Absolutely superb. Well, was that a fair enough pass? Well, fair enough as far as he was concerned. He's at the front right now. So, just as we went racing once again, the safety car came in. Augusto Farfus took the spin and hit the inside wall. He's facing the wrong way here, David.
Now then, there's a big problem here, because he had not yet got to the start line, and he's in the wall. Now somebody hit somebody touched. Let's see what happens. Oh, it was one of the Chevrolets up the inside, touching. Now you're not allowed to overtake until you pass the start line. They were nowhere near the start line.
Got bad news for you. It was Alan Manu, the winner of race 1. We'll wait and see. Rob Huff was already clean and far away, so it is Alan Manu, because Marini was already into trouble. We'll wait and see whether there's any kind of problem with that, and we're just waiting to see if the safety car is going to be declared. It hasn't been so far. I think it's on a reasonably safe part, is it? We have it. Safety car is now being flashed up, and it is coming out. It's going to collect them once again, with Prio out front ahead of Bortero, Huff, Genet, Turkington, Ivan Muller, Thompson. Alan Manu is down in 8th place.
We have to say, I did say before this race started, they've been finding a lot more people taking risks to try and see what they can do, and we've seen already the incidents that have happened. There's the car, the stricken car on the inside in the pit wall, very badly damaged indeed. And that will be Augusto Farfus very, very upset indeed.
Massively.
Saying what he wants to say to his team boss, Charlie Lamb, there, directly in front in the middle there.
Championship leader, don't forget, and it has been an awful weekend at Brands Hatch. Not only pointless, but he's damaged the vehicle.
Here we are on board. This is what happened. Round the last corner they came. Menu is up the inside.
I think we passed the line already.
There we are. It's touched them before they even. No, we haven't got the line. Line's way down there.
Sorry,
believe me, it's a long way away.
It was the back line, yeah. Exactly.
And that was it. Farfus had his line. He should not have been being overtaken before they get to the green flag. That the stewards, I am sure, will have a look at, and I'm sure they'll have something to say about.
Well, for the time being, Alan Menu is still on course, and he is in 8th place. Augusto Farfus came here to Brands Hatch as championship leader. He is not going to be there by the day's end. He is absolutely livid. Let's listen in.
Si può passare da là, non da lì.
Sì, normalmente da là si passa.
Well, there we have it, a brief exchange of views. BMW Motorsport just wanted to get the lowdown, but Alan Menu clearly, David, in your view, in the wrong there.
You are not allowed to overtake before the line. There's nothing to say you can't be side by side, I have to say, and Farfus, when he came out of the corner, went back to the inside to take the line he wanted, i.e. to leave no space down the inside whatsoever, and in doing so there was a coming together. But I have to say, watch it now.
Here we go.
He comes back to the inside. Touch. There was space and actual fact on the inside for Menu, and it's down to the stewards to have a look at. It's down to them to make a decision. It's not down to me. I can say
heartbreaker for Farfus.
Yeah, there's been an incident. That's the best I can say, really. Not down to me. It's down to somebody else. But even the doctor came to have a word, because after every incident like that, when there has been an accident, the doctor always wants to see the driver to make sure he's okay. Yes, we know he's okay, because he's jumping up and down and shouting like the Latin person he is, which I understand totally, because he was in a position and all of a sudden he was taken out. Now,
let's look at it again. His Menu now. Is the space down the inside? Yes, there is, I have to say, and they hadn't actually touched at this point. It's right now that the contact takes place. Look at the curve. Well, he was closing the door, to be honest, and he just lost out, I have to say. I can't blame Alan Menu for that myself.
There's no overtaking until you get to the start and finish line.
I appreciate that, but there was contact. And what can you do?
Well, that's down to the officials to try and work it all out, what they want to do about it. But certainly they will be looking at it. I'm sure there will be an investigation. Now they may decide to do something.
What they have decided is to extend it again, David, by 2 laps. We're up to 16 laps.
Right. The rules are, once the safety car comes out, the first 2 laps do not count behind the safety car, so it will automatically go up to 16 laps, but it will now stay there. It won't go any further. 16 laps will be the maximum, even if you have the rest of it underneath the safety car. But the safety car hopefully will come in very soon.
It's BMWs 1 and 2 at the moment. It's not exactly the BMWs that they were hoping for back at the white team. It's Andy Prio, though, out front. They'll be pleased about that. Portero's in 2nd place. Rob Huff in the Chevy is in 3rd place, ahead of Genet, who's just keeping him very, very much on a short leash. He'll certainly be hoping for. But what a start by Rob Huff as well. And Andy Prio, while all that shenanigans was going on, the first time round, I should say, before that second contact, and we're just hearing that the team manager of car number 8, Alan Menu, is being asked to go to the race director. So pick the bones out of that one. Was it a proper overtaking manoeuvre? Was it Farfus's fault? Huge questions to be asked and sorted out. They'll be rolling over it and chewing over it, you can be sure of that. There's Rob Huff. Well, he's having a great day so far, and I can't wait to see him having a crack here. He's being chased down, or he will be, by Genet, you can be sure of that. He got away and kept it nice and clean right at the off.
What we're looking at here is Ivan Muller. What he's got in front of him is Colin Turkington. In front of that, Jordi Genet. That's exactly where it was in the first race. You had Genet, then Turkington, then Ivan Muller, and there they are again. This time they're in 4th, 5th and 6th place rather than 3rd, 4th and 5th, because Rob Huff is now in 3rd place, and Rob Huff will really want to take that 2nd place away from Potero there, as they go past the stricken car of Augusto Farfus.
Well, it was a victory for Rob Huff, of course, in Anderstorp, and he would be loving the chance of being at least up there with a podium spot, and maybe more by the end of this one. Well, we're just going to have to wait once again. The laps are just ticking down here, David. It's not a good thing when the laps are going away as quickly as this. We're 6 into what is 16 after the extension you were talking about.
That's right, and it's rather unfortunate now that we're behind the safety car. I think it will be coming in fairly soon. They've just about got the car onto the back of that lower loader to get it moved. It'll come along the start and finish straight and peel off. There's a couple of places it can peel off into and go back down into the pit lane.
Yeah, I think they'll be reversing it in just a moment. It's still, the car is now secure aboard the low loader, I might add, and there it is. But as you can see, heavy damage. Once more, let's take a look at it. Now, talk us through this one then, David.
Alan Menyu's gone down the inside. Remember, can't overtake him to get to the line. They come up over the brow, already touched. Well, and there was a full car's width on the inside. It wasn't as though Alan Menyu was on the grass or anything. And there we are, see from a different shot from high up, looking back at it, turned the car around straight into the barrier when Augusto Farfus's car, big impact, big stop. And there you are, he's saying there was a safety car, and wondering why he's been turned round before he even gets to the start line. So I understand his frustration completely.
Well, was it was it his fault, essentially, is what we're asking here? Was it Farfus's fault that contact happened, or was it the fault of Menu? You sort it out, so the race directors are busy trying to sort it out, and we'll have news for you as soon as we possibly can here at Brands Hatch. So James Thompson with a little bit of work to do as well. He's down in 7th place behind Ivan Muller. Mr. Turkington, who is visiting, he's on sabbatical if you like from the British Touring Car Championship, doing great things as well so far this weekend in the flying orange RAC machine, which yes, it is a BMW. And there they go, and the safety car is off, and they swing round. Huge slingshot off for the Clark curve, and we're racing once again. Thank goodness we're back and underway, and Andy Prio takes it ahead of Portero, Rob Huff and Jenny, and they're going to keep it sensible, surely, David, at least for a couple of turns here. Everyone needs to get back up to speed and get the sensible box back on.
That's right, they need to try and stop these incidents, and I think on this first lap everybody will be a little bit cautious. They've tried to keep their tyres warm while they were out there behind the safety car, but Rob Huff right there in 3rd place, and Jordi Genet in 4th. A little bit to sleep when they came across the line. They were a little bit behind there, but taking no time at all catching back up.
Menu has been black flagged, David. He's been black flagged.
So the stewards obviously decided that the incident with Augusto Farfus was the fault of Alain Menu, and now we can see the Chevrolet boys. The man with the bow tie on is Eric Neve from Chevrolet in charge. The guy on the other side was Ray Malik, who runs the RML team, Ray Malik Limited team that actually look after these cars. But car number 8 has been black flagged, so they will be on the radio to him to tell him to come in this time, I'm sure.
And it's for violating safety car procedures. It's exactly what you said. They've clearly decided that he was at fault. Chevrolet disagree. I have to say I've got my own viewpoint on it, but that is the view of the stewards. That is the view that counts, and Alain Menu will be hampered here, to say the very least. Now look at Rob Huff. A few moments ago, just while we were looking at that, Rob Huff had a go at Portero. He had to back out of it, and we've seen it so often as this weekend has progressed, that if you make a mistake or don't make it stick, then you're going to fall into the clutches of a pursuer, and Jenny fancies his chances right now, and it's all because Rob Huff just couldn't get by Portero a moment ago, and he's under serious pressure here as they come up round and up and round the rise of Druid back down to Graham Hill. Has Jenny got enough off the slingshot here, because they will come down on the what is the back straight of the Indy circuit, locks up, little lock up, he's having a look, and I think he's managed to hold position here as Rob Huff just puts a little bit more space between himself and the chaser, but there's more work going on behind. Ivan Muller wants a look here at Turkington. Great work, and there is James Thompson in that Alfa Romeo as well, also part of this front row procedure as they go out into the woodlands here. Andy Prio must be absolutely delighted. He's out of the mess here, David.
He is. He's very happy to be there, but Ivan Muller there, you can see all over the back of that RAC sponsored orange BMW of Colin Turkington, and Colin very much got his mirrors full of this diesel Seat right behind him, and he really needs to concentrate like he did in the first race and try and pull himself away from Ivan Muller back up to the back of Jordi Genet, and concentrate on trying to get back past him again. I think on this part of the circuit is where Colin is quite good, but right behind Ivan Muller, of course, this is the car we're looking at, the car that finished second in race 1, James Thompson's Alfa Romeo, the car that really has been on song here at Brands Hatch all weekend. And I have to say it was unfortunate that he didn't get pole position and didn't win in the first race, but he knows he's got a good car. He just needs a little bit of a gap to get through. Ivan Muller, the guy in front of him, is an ex-teammate. The two of them were together in the British Touring Car Championship a few years ago, and they know each other very well, and if there's an opportunity to get past, I'm sure he will take it. But there is Jörg Müller in 9th place, 1 place away from scoring points in the championship.
It's all very well being teammates, but of course you know them so well, you know where the weaknesses are, but equally they know where the attack is also going to come, or likely to do so. You're kind of in each other's minds, as it were, and for the time being I have to say that Tomo's down there in 7th place, Ivan Müller ahead of him, and everyone is holding station for the time being as we watch them roll through. Larini is climbing back up as well. He's into 13th place, Larini, and the fastest lap, it's Portero, 1:34.387. Portero just closing down on Andy Prio. He's in the comfort zone, perhaps you might think, but believe me, he's absolutely full on, and quite often when you're at the front of the race, despite the fact you might have a teammate behind you who's not going to cause you that much worriment, you might think, you really do have to just get the metronome swinging, keep your focus, get out there and get those points. And so much at stake for Andy Prio. It's where mere mortals about this point start thinking and wondering about what happens if I make a mistake. No, the focus is absolutely there, and he maintains it brilliantly. He's had a real run of bad luck when it's come to Brands Hatch on 2 occasions. Last year it was the rain, saw him going off in the approach to Druids, terrible stuff. He had a puncture at Surtees the year before. Naturally enough, both times he went on to win the World Championship, but nonetheless he wants to win here at Brands Hatch and just put that curse to bed, I think.
Yeah, very much so, and he'll know exactly what's happening behind him with Alex Portero and Felix Portero, sorry, and Rob Huff. And Rob now got the queue of cars behind him, and at the back of that queue is Jörg Müller. And further down, the first of the independents, Pierre-Yves Cortals, who started in the front row, is now 11th, but still leading the independents, most importantly.
Well, just being chased down by Hernandez at the moment. D'Asti is leading 4 of them towards the back of the field. But look at this out front, a huge snake, a high-speed snake, a lovely roar as they come by past us once again. And look at this, Thompson really late on the brakes, a little plume of smoke from his tyres. That's how hard he was pushing. And as you saw, just as soon as you get out of it, you start to drift away as well. If you can't make it stick, then you've got trouble by the driver behind you. In a snake like this, it really does concertina, if you like, pulling and pushing within it. And for the time being, they're all set in this long high-speed line. One mistake by any of them and it could prove to be a real costly one, not only for the driver himself but those who surround him. It really is thrilling stuff here.
Yeah, they're just so close that if somebody makes a mistake, it's going to involve somebody else, as we've seen already in this race. When somebody makes one mistake, then all of a sudden there's at least 2 people involved, if not more. But a great shot from on board. It was James Thompson's car looking forward to Ivan Müller in front of him. He knows Ivan well, as I said before, and he just needs to try and get any little gap at all. And there was the mistake by Ivan Müller. He got it wide coming out of the corner, wheel onto the dirt. Ivan was on the inside. He knew how far to push to get James up high before he goes into the Paddock Hill bend. And that was a little mistake by Ivan Müller, not by much, but all it takes is a little bit. And all of a sudden, Tomo was crawling all over the back of Ivan there.
And he is still as they come down Graham Hill here. He's having a look. Can he make it on the inside? Can't quite do it. Another plume of smoke, but he holds on to the momentum, and he's got his man in his sights now. Can he do anything about it going into Surtees? One of the points where it's possible to make a passing manoeuvre. Can't quite do it. Lights up the back tyres again. They're really they're really suffering out there, I have to say. Down a little tag there for the 7 Larini, and just being pushed out. His car looking distinctly second hand. It's had a rough day out there, hasn't it?
It has. He's really got pushed around the beginning and done a lot of damage to that car, but he's managed to keep it going, and he's still going around, admittedly down in 13th place, but still running around at the moment. But up front we've got Andy Prio, right behind him Portero, and right behind that is Rob Huff. Then Genet, and here we are. The Chevrolet boys have come down to apologise, Mark Busfield said, to Augusta Farfus. So I think a gentlemanly thing to do. I'm not sure whether Alan Manu looked at it. I actually wanted to be there to do that, but his team manager Mark Busfield is very good at that sort of thing, and knows what's right and what's wrong, and I think he will have asked him to go down quite nicely, I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure that Alan more than happy to go down and say, look, okay, my fault, I've been black flagged, I've lost my points in this race, so have you, I'm really terribly sorry, you have, and put his hand up and say sorry and apologise to the guy. I'm not sure Augusta Farfus will want to accept that apology at the moment. Maybe when he cools down a little bit, it'll be a little bit better. But here is the battle still.
Well, that's for
Muller
8th place as well.
Trying to get that 8th place. He wants Tarquini's place because it is 1 point in the championship. Trying hard up the inside was Jürgen Muller. Gabriele Tarquini shutting the door. He knows the circuit well. He knows where he closed the door on people.
Well, if you are a good driver here, it's very, very difficult to get by you. Oh, look at that. What's happened? Is that a problem? It looks like it. Problem for one of the Seats. And, well, that's going to move everyone up a spot. Don't know what quite's gone wrong with Tarquini's machine here, but clearly he's not happy, David. He's just suddenly losing all sorts of power and drifting on down as he is. Well, your guess is as good as ours at the moment.
I've got no idea. Suddenly pulled out of the way. He knew he'd lost power. He knew he had a problem and he wasn't getting anybody's way. He pulled out of the way, let everybody go past, but right on the limits of adhesion. The cars at the front here, starting with Protero. There's Gabriele Tarquini still coming in nice and slowly. There we go, round the last corner towards the start and finish. In 3rd place, Rob Huff. In 4th place, Jordi Genet. 5th place, Colin Turkington. 6th place, Ivan Muller. A little bit further back, and then further back still, James Thompson's dropped away from the back of Ivan Muller. But Colin Turkington has pulled away also from Ivan Muller and pulled himself forward up to the back of Jordi Genet. And there is obviously Muller, Jürgen Muller now with the BMW up into 8th place. 9th place right behind there is Tom Cornell in the GR Asia Seat.
Well, Jürgen Muller starting today on 3rd place in the championship race. And, well, Gabriele Tarquini would have been hoping to do something out there today. James Thompson certainly was hoping to. He got 2nd place, of course, in the opening race. And there's more and damage as well to the 30 car and Ragnoni. Let's take a look at it. Well,
that's Luca Rangoni's gone off. That's the 2nd time because he was involved in the incident earlier on.
I thought there was another car involved as well there, David.
No, it was just him having his off through the gravel, all on his own. But he had an incident earlier in the race, which is what caused the damage.
Just spotting Zanardi's vehicle beached up, and Ragnoni, there he is.
Rangoni's given up. He hasn't probably. His car has given up under the extreme pressure that he's put it through so far in this race, having had a couple of offs.
Well, it's been under all kinds of stresses and strains. If you do get it just a little bit wrong here, it will punish you. Brands Hatch will eat you alive. And we've seen it in all kinds of different forms of racing that we've had so far this weekend. We've had the open wheel, of course. We've also had the International GT Open, the Formula Masters Series. It's terrific. There are the Prios. There's Dad.
And Joey's wife.
And well, this is the reason why they're looking very, very happy. Only 3 laps remaining as he comes across the line once again and heads off up to paddock and down. Oh, and look at this. Now, Tomo's looking a little bit fragile here. He's dropped off it just a little bit, David. He's not quite on the pace that he was before.
No, he's not. He's certainly struggling for pace for whatever reason. And he's dropped away from
2.5 off the pace last time round.
And
I think a nudge here.
Caught on the back by Jürgen Muller.
And round he goes.
Oh, yeah, he'll just push you right out there. Jürgen was going to hit him one way or the other as he forced his way through. So Jürgen Muller scoring more points. Good for Jürgen. Right behind there in that orange car was Tom Cornell. Right up behind, and behind that Pierre-Yves Cortals now with a bit of a healthy lead in the Independence Championship.
And Cornell is all over the back of Thompson here as they come up. I don't know what's happened with the Alpha, but it's really, really off the pace here. It's slowing dramatically in terms of its last lap, 1:36. The leaders are nearly 2 seconds quicker, and it's not because of the hassles he's getting from everybody else. He's getting those hassles because he is slowing down ever so slowly, albeit. There is Turkington as well in 5th place, and just going past Genet. Amazing.
4th place for Colin Turkington. I have to say the young guy from Ireland doing a fantastic job here this weekend at Brands Hatch with his BMW out there, the RSC sponsored car. And he really should be on a lot of team managers' radar now, saying, you know, here we have a young driver who is looking good in touring cars
at the highest level.
At the highest level, and some of the older drivers that are running around in touring cars need to be moved on a little bit and let the young guys have a go. And I do believe it. It is a young man's sport, and the young guys have a lot to offer for the future of World Touring Cars, and this is one young man, Colin Turkington, who certainly deserves that opportunity from some of these team guys, team managers, team owners that are out there, the manufacturers. When you look at Colin Turkington, what he's been able to do, no other national championship car has been able to come along, and
oh dear, the 9 car of Jenny drifted a little bit wide and he was taken by his teammate. Let's have a look.
Yeah, that was a really good move. Yeah, it looked a little bit more professional than it did in the first race.
Ivan Muller just getting him, Jenny just drifting a little bit wide. To be fair, he's been taking that line again and again, and a lot of them just do come over the rumble strips on the back straight of the short Indy circuit.
But similar to the first race, at some point Ivan Muller had to go past Jordi Genet before the end of the race to score the maximum amount of points available for Seat to keep the Seat in the race for the driver's title.
So they may not have team orders amongst the BMWs, but Seat, well, they're unembarrassed about going for it in such a manner.
It's a personal opinion, of course. I can't say it's fact.
There you have it, straight out of the horse's mouth, so to speak, from David Leslie.
And there is Bart Marmpire, the team manager of this car, the car leading car number 1, double world champion Andy Prio, looking to get his first win here at Brands Hatch. Been a bit of a bogey circuit for him in the past. There's James Thompson struggling with his car further back. Tom Cornell, Pierre-Yves Cortals right behind with the 2 Seats, one from GR Asia and one Monroe sponsored car.
So across the line they come once again, and Andy Prio is looking likely for victory here. It's the last lap as we head into it, and what a reaction he will get from the crowd here. And not only him, but Rolf Huff as well as Colin Turkington. A real feast for everybody here who's turned up on this weekend. The World Touring Cars have come to Brands Hatch, and they have provided one heck of a spectacle as they head off into the woodlands for the very last time here. Andy Prio, twice he has come to Brands Hatch in the Worlds, and twice he has been tripped up. It was in the rain last year, ended up in the gravel. It was a puncture the time before that. Well, he certainly made it stick this time around. He got the decent grid position after the first race, leading off row 2, but boy oh boy, he made advantage of that position, and he has gonna head for victory here. Tremendous stuff. The man who wears the number 1, his family, his friends, everybody waiting for him to cross the line, and round he comes, and he'll be in our view in just a few moments time. And never won in a touring car at Brands Hatch. Just had never won in a touring car. I think that was a slightly misleading graphic. The double world champion, of course, European champion before that, and round he comes now. The crowd are rising for Andy Prio. It's BMWs, the lights go up, and he has taken victory, and he has beaten the curse of Brands Hatch, which has had him a number of times. Rob Huff finishes in 3rd place behind Portero, and Colin Turkington, superb 4th place for him. Ivan Muller finishes in front of George Jenny, as you might expect. Ivan Muller continues his march up the rankings as well, but Andy Prio is top dog. He's back at the top of the standings before Monza, before Macau. He seems to time these runs, David Leslie, and he's done it again.
He has, and you know, getting those points make all the difference. He's got himself now up to 81 points. 2nd place in the championship, Augusta Farfus on 69 points. 3rd is Ivan Muller now on 67 points, 2 points ahead of Jörg Muller with 65 points. That's the top 4 of the championship. Bart Marmpire hitting himself with his watch. Be congratulated by the Works BMW Schnitzer team there, coming down the pit lane to say well done to these guys. They were out there. They're the guys that got the result when it mattered. Colin Turkington, fantastic result for him.
Amazing.
Jürgen Muller, there you are in 7th place. James Thompson picking up the last point in 8th place. Tom Cornell 9. Pierre-Yves Cortals, first of the independent guys, having a great weekend this weekend at Brands Hatch. 2 maximum scores for him for the independents. Tiago Montero on 11th after that.
Well, what a weekend for Andy Prio, and what a time to start turning things around. Yes, I know he started at 2nd in the table and was always going to be featured towards the end of the season, but he's taken a step forward here yet again towards another crown, and I think we might well be looking at our 3 times world champion Andy Prio, who may well have started his climb to that title right here. So the crowd really roaring when Andy Prio removed his helmet and held up the flag across the track to the grandstands here. they came to see an Andy Prio victory, and that's exactly what they've been given here. He looks slightly shell-shocked. It's been a very, very busy weekend for everybody, hugely intense, and we've got Andy about to speak to us right now. Stay with us. Here he comes.
Andy Prio, you've done it. You've won at Brands Hatch in a touring car. What a fantastic day.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. I mean, that's a bottled up emotion I've had all weekend. You know, underperformance in qualifying, we know what it was. The car was quick, and to swallow my pride and drive around for 8th place was hard, but we did it. And you know, it's a brilliant result for everybody, the team, BMW UK, everybody who's put a lot into this over the last 4 or 5 years. So thanks to everybody.
Thank you very much.
So he set himself up, swallowing his pride, he said, to drive round to set himself up for race 2. And, well, he nailed it when he needed to do so and delivered the goods. There's Rob Huff, still getting plenty of hugs from everybody. More popular figure, you'd be hard to find Rob Huff. He's such a nice guy as well. They all are, to be honest. Despite the fact that they exist in this very, very intense world, they remain real colleagues off the track, although of course deadly enemies when they get on it.
And now we see the result all the way down. 5th Van Muller, 6th Jordi Genet, 7th was Jörg Muller, and 8th James Thompson, and those two having to go and visit the race director to find out why. And eventually out of the gravel has been pulled Alex Zanardi's car, and it's working its way back to the pit lane from a gravel trap, and the trucks are out picking up the other cars around the circuit that have broken down, and all the way down to the back there. So the guys didn't finish, and there's Rob Huff making his way upstairs to the podium presentations, and Pierre-Yves Cortals, the little guy beside him who won the Independence Trophy. And I have to say that he's had 2 good wins for the Independence. He was 3rd in the championship when he came here, only by 7 points from Stefano D'Asti, so pretty sure they've moved on. But there's the championship points for the main championship.
Yeah, tremendous. Andy Prio vaults ahead. He's on 81 points. Augusto Farfus, who went into the pit wall with the help of Alain Menu, it seems. That was what was deemed to have happened by race control before the restart, after the safety car had come out. And poor old Farfus now finds himself just in a position he didn't really want to be in, which is trailing his teammate Andy Prio for now. Well, we're just awaiting the national anthem for Andy Prio atop the podium here at Brands Hatch. Andy Prio takes the applause, and the other national anthem, naturally enough, for BMW. And so the trophy's being handed out. Rob Huff, a more popular podium place you'd be hard pushed to find. Chevrolet have had a decent weekend, you have to say. Although Alain Menu can probably feel slightly aggrieved, I think personally, but nonetheless he was deemed to be at fault for helping Augusto Farfus into the wall on the pit lane. There he is, Andy Prio. He's finally put to bed the curse of Brands Hatch, David Leslie.
That's right, and you know, he didn't make it last year when he went off on the restart, but a fantastic result this year. Good points for the day, and walking away with the championship lead. Pierre-Yves Cortals there, moved into the lead of the Independence. Great day for the guys on the podium.
A super weekend, you've got to say. Brands Hatch is always a pleasure to visit, and well, the crowds have turned out in their thousands here to enjoy what has been a very busy weekend. Not only the World Touring Cars, but the GT Open, the International GT Open and the International Formula Masters as well. Champagne gets sprayed with alacrity here, and Andy Prio will be taking one big gulp of that, and he deserves every drop. He's atop the championship standings.